I think I've named this yard the Yard of Shattered Dreams, because this is where all the poor bloody boxes end up that are doing a bit of a struggle. And over here though, this is a miracle box. It's actually defying all the odds against all craziness, because everybody out there in beekeeping land that's done cutouts, and if you haven't done a cutout yet, soon enough you will, it's such hit and miss. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, I've had the vacuum cleaner going, I've had the bloody friggin' swarms are easy. If you're going to be new to beekeeping, catching swarms is a piece of piss. Cutting out stuff, when someone rings you up and says, I've got some bees in my roof, you go, okay, that's cool. How long have they been there? Well, I don't know. I only noticed them the other day, but I think they might have been there for a while. Then you want to be a bit concerned. But anyway, I've done plenty of cutouts, as you would have seen along the journey of this insanity. This particular box of bees, which I thought was doomed, actually seems to be going fairly well. Whereas other boxes that I've thought were going to be terribly successful have petered out. So I really don't know. Maybe it's a bit like Russian roulette. Sometimes when you're doing a cutout, you don't know what's going to be the end result. You're about to see some footage of a necessarily not the best result in the immediate fallout. I think you could possibly say that this was a clusterfuck. As a matter of fact, it ended up on the cutting room floor, and if we were doing this with actual old film footage, you would never get to see this episode, so think yourself lucky that you're in the digital age. The crap just ends up on a USB somewhere saved in the archives of the Bush Bee Man. This is going to be a little bit like Back to the Future. Not that we're going back to 1955, but we're just going to go back not even 5 months, it's probably 4 months. Back to summer this year when we were doing this cutout, and the man in charge of the camera said, I don't think we're going to show anybody this. And so I was just telling him, as we're here in the casualty yard, the box over here is a victory. Heck, just to add to all my excitement, we've just had a call out. We've got a lady with some bees in a cupboard. I can't bear to have the pest exterminator come and do something to them, so I'm going to pencil them into my diary. And luckily for you, there's a cameraman here to capture the insanity. These little girls are in the bottom of a box, or bottom of a cupboard really, pretty much. So I'm going to try something different today. I've got myself a little fishing dab net. Well, not a fishing net, it's a swimming pool cleaning net thing. And I thought maybe we could catch the whole nest, pop it in there, and then put it in the box rather than doing one thing at a time. Because it seems that quite often the queen escapes when you do a layer at a time. By the time you get to her, she's off and gone out the back of the cupboard and off into the wilderness. So anyway, we're going to try something different today. But the lad had a good suggestion. He said, in the shed here somewhere, in amongst my mess, there's an old machete that maybe we could cut the comb off with. So hopefully we don't have to play the diddle music for an hour before I can find the bloody thing. But we'll have a bit of a look. The interesting thing, I was a big enough struggle finding a hammer when I put down yesterday, never mind a machete that I might have used 5 years ago. I know what we should do. We should check the storage diary and we could flick through the pages and find out where I put it. I would have written down where I stored my machete. Well, maybe I would have if I was the father-in-law. I wouldn't have written shit anywhere. Anyway, here we go for a fozzick. Look at that. You can always find what you're not looking for. I wanted this yesterday. Bloody hell. Oh. Corky, eh? Nah. Even if you were any good at a swordsman, you wouldn't cut anybody off with that. Man, that's blunt. It doesn't have to be super sharp to cut through honeycomb anyway, does it? Hang on, just put your finger out and see if it chop it off. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. We got a sharpening stone, or should we use an angle grinder, or what would be a bit green? What would be a bit mean to it? Somewhere in this shed I had a sanding disc on the grinder. That might be just ideal to clean this up. Here we are, because I used this the other day, cleaning up my feeder drum. That's when all the blue shit's on there. Give ourselves a bit of power. Left over from yesterday's blooming finding out whether the thing works. Well, here we go. Whoa, don't get my shirt.
Shiny surface, old surface. Oh, look at that. That's not bad. That's a little sanding disc. Ah, the things you invent. Then we'll just do the other side. That feels good. Doesn't mean to be ridiculously sharp, just a bit smooth so I can slide through. Okay, I think I need that finger now. Put your finger on the box like that, I reckon, and ka-dunk. Fuck, that would hurt, wouldn't it? Ow. Anyway, I think that'll be the go. I'll be like, what's that? What's that Luke Skywalker dude? Cool. Let's have a look at what we've got to deal with. Oh. Looks like the girls are over there. Shh. Dum-dum. We'll sneak up on the little darlings. Not that hectic anyway. At least they haven't built to the door yet, because that's actually movable. Yep, they're nearly at the door. Look at that lot. Hello, chicks. Oh my goodness me. I think we might need a bigger net. I wonder if that shelf comes out of there. No, that'd be too much to expect, wouldn't it? So that's not going to help us. Oh, golly. Well, they're nice and relaxed. Jeebus. I think that might be a little bit bigger nest than I had envisaged. I thought it was only new. But anyway, we still might dig around it. We've got this, yeah, like I said, the net. I'll show you the net in a minute. We might have to do a measurement. It's not a real deep cupboard, but anyway, I'd still like to have a crack at it and see what it does. Should have brought a shovel, I think. Anyway, I guess we're going to go and light a smoker and put a bee suit on and just find out where this journey takes us. I'm just going to do a bit of reconnaissance, and I guess I could use a tape measure, but anyway, I don't know, I've got one of them. To be or not to be? That is the question. It's not going to fit. I wonder if we can go that way. Nah. What have we got? It's about half wide enough. Unless we took it out of this thing. Maybe we'll have to make our own up. Anyway, on we go. Well, we'll go for a little drive and see if we can just requisition a bigger one. I don't think we've got anything to steal out of the kitchen to do this job, so we might have to go and purchase something ourselves. Or we might have to make something. Anyway, let's go and find what we can see. These blokes will think I live here. I reckon I might have to change the name to Home Beware instead of Home Hardware. Oh, here we go. There's a bigger fishing net. That's a dab net with a little bit big wire in it. Hey, how you going? That's there, not too bad. What about that? They'd get through that though, wouldn't they? That wasn't what I was thinking. That won't nearly work though. What else is that? It's a skinny opera house. That's not good to us. Nope. I reckon, just wondering whether I've got one of these in the shed and we could put some of that other mesh around it.
Wouldn't it need to be square to fit in the cupboard?
I suppose we could make it square if we scrunched it, but then it would, defeat the purpose anyway, wouldn't it? What else have we got? I think we might just have to make our own. Okay, we're up to option 17. Well, at least 5, I think. So I found a bit that should be a lid if I ever get motivated to make the rest of it. It's got the wrong nails in it because I inherited this, but I thought that might actually not be too bad. And then I've got a little bit of rat mesh that I cut off the bottom of something else. So I've got plenty more, but this might be about the right size, I reckon. All they need to do is figure out where the scissors went. Anyway, that'll be the next problem. So I reckon we'll just make that the edge. And then if we hook it there, wherever the middle is, put it in the middle. Or should it be in the middle and push down? How would it go? I'm sure this isn't in the craft shop. Hey, we might be able to make a bee catching net. Oh, God. Anyway, it seemed like a good idea, like a lot of my ideas, it seemed like a good idea when I started out. So I reckon we're going to put that there for a start, because that's the edge. As long as we get it in the middle, I think we'll nail a little bit of board along here. I don't think we're going to need a handle as such, because this will be poked that in there and lifted up anyway, so I'll just see if I can find a bits of wood. I wonder if this has got any nails lifted in it. My little staple gun for making frames, which I've got a bit slack on because I'm buying a few already made. This is our staples. And these are the little staples that I'm using. They look like turbo staples. It's not them. Staples, staples. Where are the staples? What are they? They are nails. We don't want nails. Where did you put them last time you used them? Got plenty of long braided nails for the boxes. Here, staples, staples, staples. Where'd you go? Oh, we'll have to be very sparing if I don't find any more. What are they? There's some little nails. Oh, they'll work though, if all else fails. All else fails, we'll use a nail. Hey, look at that, that's nearly a poem. Right, here we go. So we're going to go through there, I reckon. And if we drag it down that way. I don't know. Something like that. We hook it there and we'll pull it the rest of the way, shall we? I don't think I've ever made a dab net for bees before. Is it going to be long enough even then? I should have got the dressmaking wife here, I reckon. She'll say, "What are you doing, you silly man? Where's your proper fold?" I don't know, darling. I don't know where the folds are meant to be. Oh dear, I don't know. It's still not really deep enough, is it? But maybe I needed a bigger bit of rat mesh. It's surprising when you start trying to make it into a catching thing. It'd go pretty close, I reckon. Time we cut the bottom off, because we've got to get it underneath the jolly thing. A little bit there, it's going to sort of get caught in the fold, but I'm sure we can tip the ladies out of there afterwards. If you were to do this for real, of course, you'd probably cut it into a circle and then just push it in here. If it works, we'll make a better one. But we can't rush these things, can we? But maybe we should. Well, actually, I think you'd call this "we are rushing it," because we don't know how much effort to put in to see whether it works or not. But I reckon that's pretty good. For a start, for a prototype. Or what was that scene out of Monty Python? It's only a model. Yeah, there's some skizzers somewhere. I wonder what she did with the scissors. Maybe I'll use this. I reckon if we get this to work, we'll make it a bit flasher. Right, next time. But you know what's going to happen. The next time we get a bloomin' nest call out, this will be somewhere in the cupboard and we'll go, "Oh, that's right. Emergency, emergency." We'll still be using it in a year's time. I think that'll be alright. It might be a fraction shallow, but we're going to have to cut the bottom of it off anyway. Right, let's do something irregular. Put this bit of crap in the bin. If you got real excited, you could turn it upside down, couldn't you? Actually, that's nearly better the wrong way up. I don't think I'd get any prizes at the fair. All else fails, if the yabbies start running, we might be able to make that a dab net and catch some yabbies. Or I could turn it into a whole new sort of bee veil. Oh, I don't know about that either. I don't think that'd sell somehow. Right, anyway, onward we go. Back to the project. I reckon this will be pretty close. Look at that. And about not too far off of the right depth. If we can get it around the corner. I reckon the next part of this project is to get a bee suit on before we get stung. Oh, Mr. Jute. Is that another name for Hessian, isn't it? Jute? I think. No idea. Yes, not like new idea, you're no idea. You just don't want to be incriminated. But I have words for you. You are incriminated because you're here. So regardless of, even if I'm the face of the show, you still bear some responsibility, young John. Anyway, apart from that, thank you all for your support along this journey of insanity. We do really appreciate your Patreon and your sponsorships and all the stuff that you try to help us get shit going on here, because it's quite involved to bring this show along. You wouldn't think it would be quite so complicated, but anyway, and as per everything in this Western world, it all runs on blooming money, doesn't it? It's an evil thing, but it's necessary. So, cool to you. Right, here we go to see whether we can make this work. Might just kick my door shut on the way past. Ho ho! Yep. Oh, golly. Okay, that's a bit silly. Wait! Stop it! Oh, get on with it. Goodness me. Bit of sweeping. I think the first project is to see how much dirt's in the bottom of our cupboard. So to see whether we can get underneath them. Dig that dirt out. I'll give them a little bit of smoke at the back to stir them up. Is that cupboard going to come forward at all? That'll be good. What do you reckon, ladies? You've been in here for a little while, haven't you? Did we bring a shovel? Well, we didn't really bring a shovel, but this'll work. Is that a mini dustpan? Looks like a shovel to me. Oh, golly. You chicks have been busy, haven't you? Hey? Working hard, making a life for yourself in a cupboard. Sometimes you just do too well and you endanger your own existence. But we're here to save you, so you don't actually know that yet, but that's what's happening. So everybody stay calm and enjoy the trip. Nice and warm under there. It's amazing how much warmth they produce. Incredible. They are so fascinating. Create all that warmth just by rubbing their little wings together and all buzzing and carrying on. It's unbelievable. I think Mother Nature's pretty fascinating, really, isn't it? I wonder how we're going to get around that corner. Are we going to be able to pluck that bit of cupboard off? Is that going to come off of there? Oh, yeah, it might do. I wonder how valuable this cupboard is. Oh, golly. I wonder if there's the back of it. Oh, I don't know, lad. I think we might take a little bit of the edge of this off as well. Do you think I should go and get some gloves on? Because this is a bit brave. There's our magical mystery tour. Let's see if we can get under there. Yeah, I'll put it the right way around since I didn't trim off me bloody thing properly. Mr. Slacker. I think what we're going to do is go and get that. Well, I think we brought the machete. I reckon I'm going to pop the back. Around the back, I'm just going to take it off with our head hooked to the back. And then we'll be able to lift it up a little bit, and then we'll be able to take the side off, hopefully. And then chop them off to the top. And they'll all be in the net, and then we'll put them in that bucket there, and then we'll figure out where we are after that. Hopefully we put them in a box. You really wouldn't read about it, would you? Look at that. Well, it's a perfect fit, except for that bit that's sticking out there. God. Perfect if I'd cut that off. Maybe there's a pruning saw in this garden shed. I can see a toolbox back here. Oh, here we go. Look. Hey. Look at that. Somebody likes me. Oh, that might be a bit intense. But anyway, I don't think it's quite what we want, but it'll be a lot better than what's happened. I think this is meant for cutting green wood. There's the edge about there somewhere. God. They call this repairs on the run. So when you're making your own frame at home, just remember to trim it up before you get on the site. Right, now hopefully it can fit underneath there like that now and fit perfectly in the cupboard. Look at that. Hello, okay. Well, anyway, we'll give it a go. We got to get them out of here. Just see if it stays together as a cupboard. Hopefully it will. If I can get it past that post. Yeah, they don't know where they are. Right-yo. I'm sure they didn't envisage this for this thing. Mind you, I don't think there's a lot of things us beekeepers do that aren't necessarily in the book. Golly gosh, ladies. Well, that just popped off there easy, which is good. I just push it around just a little bit more. It's actually going to be better at the back here because there's no lip. Oh, we might just see if we can pop this wall off as well. See how that goes. I hope this isn't a prized cupboard. Well, it's in an open shed. It can't be that important, surely, can it? It's a little bit of vandalism, but I think it'll go back together easy enough. There we go. Right, young ladies, let's see whether we can get you in our pot without too much excitement. I'm thinking this time what we're going to do is we're going to keep this honeycomb and mix it with a little bit of water and put it in a feeder and feed it back to them. Because you know how I've always said don't want to put all that honey in the actual nest with them because it makes a hell of a mess. But if we actually gave them back their honey in a format that didn't make a mess, I reckon that would give them a boost. So I think we might actually have to take a little bit off the other end or something. I reckon if we just ease that bit out, I don't know whether we can put it in there or whether we have to actually get it out the way. I think I'll cut this bit off. Not so much for a quick, snap and grab. I reckon we just got to get rid of this one. Come on, ladies, what have you done? I feel a little bit like an African on the side of a cliff. At least I'm not swinging in the breeze. I don't know how those boys get on up there. Rightio, so I reckon if we just stick that into there a bit. Why is that not coming up? Oh gosh, come on. Why is that not lifting? What is going on with that? Okay, just got to take a bit off of there, perhaps. I'm just going to take this bit off because I can't quite get our funny net over everybody. Yum, yum, yum. Look at that. You girls have been busy, haven't you? I don't think we've got our knife perfectly sharp, but anyway, it's not too terrible. It's a fair bit of honey here to get up to. Maybe just lift your end up.
Yeah, my end's up the top, buddy.
Yeah.
And then it's just over here. It's just in here.
Yeah. That's all right, we'll cut it off. So if you hold your end up, and I'll start this end and just chop it off.
Yep.
Okay, I reckon I've got...
No, you haven't quite got down to my end.
Yeah. No, I've got this end, though, is what I'm saying. So
yep.
if I can get that in, then I'll swap to you. If you're brave enough. Rightio. Here we go, ladies. Oh, wow. Man, you've been busy girls, haven't you? Right. Whew-wee, what a mess. It'd be much easier if they weren't such good honey producers. Man alive. We probably should have brought another bucket to put all this excess honey in. I didn't think they'd have so much honey. That'll let you know you're strong or weak, depending on how you look at it. At least they're pretty chilled out. Well, I don't know. Now we've just got a sticky mess at the minute. Where's the middle of your home, ladies? Right up there where I can see you all covered in honey. Yuck. See if I can get stung, eh? Where's me funny little thingamajig? Right. What do you reckon? Well, I guess we'll start on the outside and work our way in. Goodness me. Actually, I was reading this thing talking about bee stings, and they said honey's good for bee stings, so maybe while I'm all covered in muck, won't hurt as much. I don't know about that though. I'm not sure whether I'm a true believer in that theory, but any good suggestions here? That's a better option. Ow! Good suggestion would probably be put your gloves on. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, you girls. I think your girls have been way too busy. I don't know. I think the fact that there was that much honey up the top, I don't know that we've achieved what we wanted to. Oh, maybe the theory was a bit messy. I don't know. Being that they had a lot more honey than I envisaged. Yeah, golly. No, one thing, they hurt when they sting you. I think there's way more honey here than I thought. I thought this would have been a good idea. But it would appear that it's not the best approach. Man. I put my gloves back on because I'm soft. They keep stinging me, which I don't blame them. I think this project would be more advantageous if they weren't such diligent foragers. Well, all things considered, they're pretty chilled out. Shit. I think we've made a bigger mess than normal. Ah, jam. Obviously, not a very good theory. Definitely didn't work out in practice. Perhaps not the best laid plan. Hey. Come on, get out of there. There's our unfortunate boss. That's a good start. We'll pop her up there so she can get licked clean at least. Well, we have to continue on now. That was the point of the exercise, to try and catch the queen, but since I think we've got her, I think we've got to continue on with this project now. Golly gosh. How are we going to get this sorted out? Man. Get one of these frames. Make sure she's not on them. And we'll hang this unfortunate bit of bruise on it and see if they can clean each other up. Where are we going to go? Up there somewhere? Shit. Oh my goodness. I think we've made a mess, John.
I think that would be an understatement.
I think there's been more than a hurricane come through this beehive. Golly gosh. Man. Well, they might be able to clean all this mess up, but I don't think so. It doesn't look real good in the end, does it? Maybe the vacuum cleaner would have been a better idea. I just thought it. Sometimes you can catch them all at once and then you would, the queen wouldn't run away like normally happens. Anyway, obviously, open to review, I guess. Most of these projects, aren't they? I don't think we'll recommend this as an approach. Things not to do, I think. Oh, man. Rightio. I think this would be on the list of fail. Oh, there she is again. Sorry, girl. Shit. At least she's still in here. Hopefully she survives the experience. Good grief. So how we let them clean themselves could be the entertaining part, couldn't it? At least all the field bees will still be right. They're all still out foraging. I can hear them over there coming back home to wonder where they're supposed to be. Well, I think that we could do with a little bit of upgrading. It's not a complete fail because normally you lose the queen, so at least we got the queen even though we made a heck of a mess. So I'm hoping if we hang this net up a little bit, the ladies that are in here will be able to lick themselves clean and crawl out of it, because you'd be amazed how good they are surviving. I think the grand plan's gone down the hill. So, I reckon I'm going to put the box back where it should be
where they were, and so at least the field bees will come back and help tidy up this mess. And we'll tip the rest of these bees on that screen so they can lick themselves clean. You know what to do. I think we'll see what happens. We'll come back in an hour or two and see where we're at. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think there's room for improvement. That's what I reckon. Oh man, what excitement. Now if you're wondering why I've got sticks under the lid, the girls have to come in and out of the lid in the original format because the floor was just covered in honey. So I think they've done a very good job, but we're about to find out. I was just observing them, you know. We go to all the trouble of making them landing boards down the bottom, but they're just landing on the side of the box and just walking in. But anyway, we're going to check them out. So you would have thought that you had not a hope in hell of saving anything from that mess, but sometimes they're a bit more resilient than you give them credit for, these ladies. Shall I show you? Well, they're still going. Hopefully there's some queens, hopefully someone's, well, they look pretty packed in here. Now this was the bits that we actually ended up with the cutout. These couple of frames here. Okay, hang on, I might just take this one out of the way because it's filled in a bit. I might have to bring some more bees here, they're getting a nice lot of honey. What have we got going on, chicks? That feels pretty good. See our poor rubber bands? The little bit that did survive. There must be a bit of something flowering here, they've got nice nectar in there. You can feel that's got a bit of weight on it, so there's a bit more honey coming along. Look how nice and relaxed they are too. Maybe that's why they made it through. They weren't stressed out too much. They were just chilled. They're just like, ah, well, we just had our house turned upside down. We'll be right. Come back in summer, we'll change these around too, just so we get these cutouts up the top. There's someone in there laying eggs, so that's good. As you can see, there's a bit of Rhapsody's rule with the honeycomb at the end here, where we try to put it all back together. But that's all right. You got to get them organised. Oh, nice little cluster. A nice lot of nice number of bees, a nice bit of nectar coming in. I reckon you could say that's a success, even though it didn't look like it was going to be. So the little bit of footage you saw was the bit that we could stand filming. But first, just because of time constraints and the fact that John decided that it was a disaster, and he was quite right. But being determined, and I was not going to let it beat me, I actually thought, well, stuff it. So I put the back of the cupboard over top of where all the bee disaster was, and luckily for me the ladies all came back and caused a nice little cluster underneath that board. And then I came back the next day and I just got my paint scraper and went whoop and dropped them in this box. And I think the queen must have been in that pile because she's in here doing a bloody good job. So mind you, I would not recommend the way we approached this project, although being that we've got the bees in the box, it was a success. But next time I have a crack with it, I'm actually going to get rid of the honey and not put the honey in the net with the rest of the mess, because that was just crazy. So just when you're doing your own cutouts, just don't get carried away and just take your time, do it nicely, get your bees and piss off home.